I went to IKEA today.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, only briefly though. It wasn't a full day out. Only briefly.
Oh.
But what I've seen is let me find what it's called. It's unreal. And I turned to Lucy and was like, "Oh, we can get this Ivy for Christmas." She's like, "No, she's not at that age yet, Mike." And basically, it's a tag game with vest and balls. So it's a Velcro vest.
Yeah.
And you can just fill the balls.
I'm
Now,
all
in
for that.
hindsight, yeah, she probably is too young for that. She'll be 8 months at Christmas. But I should have got it. I didn't in the end. But I can't wait to get that. So when she is old enough, I could be like, "Oh, I've got you," and then knock it to the ground.
I think you should get it now, but get it in an older year set.
Yes.
Because it'll be one of those things where it might be a seasonal thing that if you try and go for it in 2 years' time, it'll just be gone.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
it.
No, you're
Get
right.
that.
Well, I've got to get something as a present for somebody that might be listening to this. Anyway, so I could get that at the same time. I've taken a picture of it anyway. Lust inked.
Oh, okay.
15 quid.
I'm going to earmark that actually, because eventually I'll have to do an IKEA run.
Right.
So, and Mary's at an age now where I think, hang on a second, here we go. This could work. This could work.
Yeah.
Oh, hello
Definitely.
everybody, and welcome to A Daft Question. This is the podcast where we debate the questions you never thought you needed answering. David Evans here once again at the helm, and with me, as always, is the Ginger Ninja, the Tier 3 mastermind, Mr. Mike Malins. How you doing, Mike?
Hey up, David. How's it going, mate? You okay?
I'm all right. I'm all right once again.
Good.
I'm all
Good.
right. More questions to answer this week, Mike. Episode...
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. Episode 6. We've got to episode 6.
Episode 6.
People are still listening. They're still watching us on YouTube.
Are they?
They are. Well,
are they? Or is it just me, you, and our mums?
Well, the views say people are, and
good.
The individual people. I was speaking to last week's guest, Andy, the other day, and no, I wasn't speaking to him. I was listening to his podcast, Cage Fighting, this week.
Yep.
And he mentioned that he was on this podcast last week, and he mentioned that he didn't realise it was being video recorded.
He did.
And I realised I actually hadn't said that to him. So I sent him a message apologising. He was like, "No, that's fine, that's fine." So for the guest this week, which you'll hear later on, I did make sure I got his consent. So for video,
I did think a vest was a very strong choice, knowing that he was going to be on YouTube. I thought, you're very comfortable with yourself,
yeah,
my
okay,
man.
you're in your own home. You're in your comfort. I've got a normal top on, but I have got my pajama bottoms on underneath. So,
I've just got joggers on. Apparently, I put up a I don't know if you saw it on the Instagram stories saying
I did.
doing a new podcast, but let us know if you've got any questions. And Lucy saw it and she thought it looked like I was wearing boxers. Did you get that? I just want to clear this up because I don't think it did. You didn't automatically think I was wearing boxers, did you?
No.
Good. That's fine then. Let's move on. Question 1. Oh no, correspondence first.
I was just going to mention very quickly. Have you ever heard the urban myth about Gillette Soccer Saturday and what they wear in the studio?
Well, I mean, I'm guessing they just wear trackies or something at the bottom.
So there is this urban myth that although they've got a shirt and tie on at the top, it gets so hot in the studio that they wear shorts underneath the desk.
Right. Okay.
So I've had opportunities to ask people who work there, and I always forget.
Well, I mean, we might have a guest in the next few podcasts, David.
Maybe we can ask them. Let me ask you a question. Urban myth.
Have you seen the new Paddy Power? Not adverts, but it's like a 2-3 minute clips of like the pundits just left Soccer Saturday.
They're very good,
and they're sat in the it's funny. Yeah. It's brilliant. I recommend anybody watch that. If you know football and Soccer Saturday, then I'd watch that because it's hilarious.
Anyway, let's go on to correspondence. With people listening going, just get correspondence. Questions. Correspondence, Mike. Before we get into correspondence, if people want to reach us, of course, their answers to our questions or just their own question submission, how do they do that, Mike?
Twitter.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think my voice just broke when I said Twitter. Then Twitter
Yeah.
at a daft question, Instagram us at a daft question, email us adaftquestion@gmail.com, or comment on our videos on YouTube. Search a daft question.
Lovely. What have the people been saying this week, Mike?
Not a lot, David, to be honest. So, in fact, 3 people maybe might have got in touch about the breakfast evening meal thing, and that's it.
Okay. We'll take it.
So apparently, steak is a breakfast in America.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
And also Chikorita.
Yeah, the restaurant, the famous
Yep.
Mexican.
They sell it as a breakfast option.
Ooh, good.
And we've exchanged tweets, and I've said that I will try it out and give them an answer on the podcast, and they said they'll listen.
Good.
So there we go. We've got an extra listener, and I get steak for breakfast. It works brilliantly.
So the Twitter admin for Chikorita is going to listen.
Apparently so.
Not company wide. Everyone stop. You must listen to this now.
They're going to play it in all the restaurants of the tannoys. So the other 2 people that have got in touch with us, David Edwards, who's at Toledo, he's basically reckons that he could easily do sausage and mash with onion gravy and a bit of mustard on the side
for breakfast. Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, because it's gravy. You're not a fan because it's gravy.
No, yeah. Could you do that? You yeah, with mustard on the side as well.
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's only a bit of mustard, isn't it?
Yeah.
As long as the gravy was thick.
Okay.
Like I can't do with piss poor gravy. No. But onion gravy a lot of the time is very watery. So as long as it was strong, thick gravy, then yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And the other 3rd person he got in touch?
At ADPR84.
Yeah.
He can do a lamb derby. Derby, is that what? Derby tikka?
I'll take your word for it.
Darbarry. A lamb tikka with pilau rice and a tandoori roti. I'm not clued up with the Indian foods.
Curry, basically. Curry.
Yeah, he'll have a curry with a cup of coffee.
Adam, a man after my own heart.
But then someone did at Eastlaw09 did actually comment on it saying, but with some granola on the side. #balanced diet. I like that.
Very good. So we're getting curries, we're getting sausage and mash, we're getting
granola.
And we're getting granola. So thank you very much for those 3 people.
Yeah.
For getting in touch. Obviously, you can just get in touch and give us your answers or submit your own questions on those channels. Mike, as that's a short segment of correspondence, shall we get into the first question?
First question, please.
Okay. It sounds like a countdown. I'll have a consonant, please. Carol.
Carol? When was the last time you watched Countdown?
Probably when old Carol did it.
Yeah, it's Rachel these days.
Yeah. Anyway, first question time on this one. Michael, bunk beds. Once again, one of the greatest inventions known by man.
Indeed.
The choice of the bottom and top bunk has quandared people for many generations. But my question to you, Michael, is which one, bottom or top bunk?
I've got 2 answers.
Oh, see, I've got 2 answers as well. I've got 2 theories on this, but I'll let you divulge your theories, your methods.
So I think as a kid, which, let's be honest, you've got more chance of using bunk beds than you and I have at this current age. So as a kid, you look at the bunk beds, and I think just you want top bunk because you want to come across like I'm better than you. I'm the better brother or the better friend or whatever. I deserve the top bunk. And it's some sort of kind of pedigree. If you're up on the top, it's like, yeah, look at me, peasants.
It's like a class status.
Absolutely. That being at the back of the bus.
Okay.
Like you want that top spot.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah, I completely get that. Yeah.
But now I'm older and wiser. Practicality, you want the bottom bunk every day.
Yeah,
It's just you can't be faffing about with getting up and down ladders at midnight when you're pissed. If you need the toilet, like that's just you want the bottom bunk. As a 34-year-old man now, I would pick the bottom bunk every day.
See, that was my reasoning for everything on this one. So as a kid, yeah, top bunk. There's something weirdly kind of higher power about
there is
being on the top bunk. For some
Oh.
reason, sleeping on a top bunk, you feel like you're sleeping in the air.
Yes.
So it just feels like, yeah, look at me.
I'm the king of the mountain, and you're the dirt. That's not the rhyme, is it? I'm the king of the castle, and you're the dirty rascal. There we go.
But as an adult, yeah, bottom bunk. Why do I want to bother trying to climb stairs?
Exactly.
And then if you meet the loo in the middle of the night,
yep,
you've got to climb down the stairs again. You've got to go up the stairs again.
Charging your phone.
Oh, hey, how do you extend a wire up to your bed? Or if you're going to come down the night,
you'll have to get an extension lead. You'd have to buy an extension lead and pop it up to the top bunk, and then you can charge your phone.
There was last year went for a mate's weekend away in Liverpool, and we stayed in like a hostel, and all the beds were bunk.
Yeah.
And I stayed on the top bunk. I thought, okay, yeah, go on then. I'll go on the top bunk.
Yep.
There was a point in the night when we went to go to bed, and my mate wasn't in the bottom bunk at this time.
Right.
I went to climb up the ladder for the top bunk, and I nearly pulled down the whole top. And I was thinking to myself, geez, like, if this is what you're going to go through every day, if you've got a bunk bed as an adult.
Yeah, I've done a couple of hostels for stag do's, and I've always ended up being on the top bunk, which is very awkward.
Yes.
When you come back pissed, you've fallen all over the shore. Thankfully, I can't remember the first one, but the second one had a plug, if I remember.
What the top?
Yeah. They had a plug at the top. So the phone charger bit wasn't too bad, but yeah, getting in and out of it at night again when you've had a few too many, it was awful. It was horrendous.
I always think as well with that bottom bunk, you've almost got more room to put things everywhere. It was almost like a bit of a cave.
Yeah.
And also, isn't there not always a bit of an irrational fear with the bottom bunk though that the top bunk might collapse?
Well, again, as a kid, I imagine. I mean, I was never at the bottom as a kid, David. I was always at the top bunk in my dreams, and you'd look up and you would wonder, is it going to come through? But then I remember as well as a teenager, I was on the bottom bunk, someone's at the top, and you're a teenager, and it's two lads, and you're listening thinking, he's not, is he? That squeaking isn't what I'm thinking it is it? And it was, yeah.
Oh.
So that's another reason why I don't want top bunk.
I remember the brief four. I remember having bunk beds when I was a kid. Me and my sister, bunk beds. My sister was on the top bunk, bottom bunk. I remember this one memory I have of it is I just woke up randomly in the middle of the night, no reason, just woke up as you do. And then I kid you not, 10 seconds later, bear in mind on the top bunk, you've got like a bit of a bar that kind of helps you not fall out of bed. I'm just lying there thinking, oh, I've woken up. Then all of a sudden, I just kind of look to my right where the get out of the bed is. And my sister, whole body just falls flat from the top bunk onto the floor. And there's like a pause, and I just hear... I just remember just seeing this whole body straight fall flat. And just thinking, what the hell is that? But then also not understanding how my sister vertically with a bar there.
Yeah, just went over that.
And just fallen flat.
Did she jump?
To this day, I don't understand.
Was she face first?
Yes.
That makes it even weirder.
Unless she somehow sleep rolled and she's rolled herself over the bar. But I didn't understand how it even happened. But she was properly vertical as she went down.
Whichever sister this is, does she listen to the podcast?
No.
Oh, right, so we can't get an answer then.
No.
If only we had a brother that could contact her and find out the exact reason why she fell over. You never told me about your mum, by the way. You need to tell me this. You said last week there's a story that you couldn't share about your mum, but you tell me after the podcast.
Oh, okay. I'll do that tonight then. After this one.
Fine.
Okay. Yeah. So where were we? Oh, yeah, bunk beds.
Bunk beds.
I was just thinking of the
But
story
no,
about.
as a kid, it's some sort of superiority to kind of be at that
Yes.
top. Like as I said, like being at back at bus, it's kind of like it's a power move, isn't it?
Especially if you have a bunk, these bunk beds, which the bottom isn't a bunk bed, it's like a little
I had one of
office.
them. I had one of them.
Oh, you jammy boy.
Yeah, when I was, I mean, it's quite probably when I was about 15, 16. So it wasn't the best when I was like just bringing the ladies home. Like, yeah,
When you come up to the top
I'm going to
bunk
take you to
again.
paradise, literally. But yeah, at first, like when I think I got it, I must have had it about 3 years. So when I was like 13, it was awesome. Like you had the wind-up computer that we had at the desk, and I could use that for schoolwork.
Yeah.
And then just climb up to the top bunk, and it was great. I loved it. But then, as I said, when you get to 15, 16, you're a bit too big for it.
So what we're saying is, so for top bunk, bottom bunk, it's kind of a half answer. It's yes, bottom for a kid.
Yeah, if you ask me now,
So top for a
bottom.
kid, bottom for an adult.
If you asked me 20 years ago, shit, I'll be 14. Anyway, if you asked me 20 years ago, I'd have said top bunk.
Okay, there we go. Bunk bed problem solved.
Good
forever.
question.
Next question, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a mix.
Mm-hmm.
We all love it. You can
Mhm.
put whatever array of sweets or chocolates you want in a paper bag for you to use at your disposal.
Mhm.
But my question to you, Michael, is what is the best way to fill up on Pick a Mix?
Don't go to the cinema. That's one rule right there. We've got a Tesco next door to the cinema. I just go there first.
What has that Tesco got a Pick a Mix?
Yeah. Quite a few Tesco's now. I've got like
really?
Candy Kings.
Because I was going to one of my questions, sub questions, this was going to be where is the best place to go for Pick a Mix?
Well, see,
that's now not Woolworths.
Yeah, well, I've got an answer for that,
Okay.
but because of COVID, it's all changed.
Yeah, because you have to get the things
they're all-
sanitizing that first.
Yeah, but they're all individually wrapped, so you don't get your like your bonbons and your mini Rice Krispie things and your mini eggs and whatever. You've got individually cheap sweets.
Now in my neck of the woods in tier 2,
Right.
Although technically, if you go to Telford, I think Telford's in tier 1.
Lucky
There is
bastards.
there's like a sweet shop in the main shopping centre,
Right.
and it is gone back to normal in terms of Pick a Mix.
right.
It's not individually wrapped anymore. You can just
Okay.
go and get. You've got to get the shovel from the counter,
Yeah.
which has been sanitized.
Right, okay, then.
But you can go back to shoveling your sweets.
Right. Okay.
So yes, good old tier 1 with their loose restrictions.
Yeah, see, I mean, maybe I need to get in the Pick and Mix before we eventually turn into tier 3 Friday morning to see what I can get my hands on. So anyway, back to the question.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, I don't go to cinema. Like, sack that off. I tend to go Tesco or, and this is my favourite place to go for it, Wilko's.
Yes. Yep.
Because Wilko's have got a great variety.
Mm-hmm.
And every so often they'll do half price.
Yes.
So if it's like a bank holiday weekend or something, you can get like a large cup that should be £4 for only £2. Belted.
Do you prefer the cup or the paper bag?
I prefer the cup.
I like the traditional, the paper bag.
Yeah, but I think they con you out of money. Whereas with the cup, you can force stuff in. and then you can also like quarter of the way, halfway, 3/4, you can get your Smarties and fill up the little gaps.
Oh,
Can't do that in a paper bag.
That's like sand, isn't it? Just filling up those little gaps.
Yeah.
That's a good tactic, that is.
Yeah, get some Smarties just to fill the gaps.
So where do you go with the ratio in terms of how much you're filling up with sweets, chocolate?
I'm probably a 70-75% chocolate kind of guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love my chocolate.
That's controversial. I would go mainly sweets.
Really?
Yeah, I'll go mainly sweets.
Okay.
Sweets.
Well, there's something I didn't know about you, David.
Well, you learn something new every day, don't you?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It depends how big they are for how many you get. Okay, obviously. Yeah. One of my favourites it's like a mini Rice Krispie cake thing. It's like chocolate and it's got Rice Krispies like in a dome. I don't know how to describe it, but it's quite big. So I only have 3 of them. Unless it's half price and get a large cup, then I'm going full Monty. Full Monty, I'm not going naked. Why have we just said that? I'm stripping naked in Wilco's. Give me my pick and mix. Where were we? Right. Chocolate.
So apart from this Rice Krispie kind of dome, what are your go-to? Right, I'm at the pick and mix. What am I?
Mini eggs.
Yep, definitely. Do you have these footballs in the wrap? You know, this foil wrap?
No, because I can't be arsed.
You can't be arsed with the unwrapping.
No, like I want my pick and mix. If you just put your hand in and put them in your mouth. If you're in a cinema, the last thing I want to do is get a chocolate ball, and then you have to find the edge to try to. And then it rips like after a second, and you've got to try. No, thank you.
Okay.
You're a big football fan here?
No, I'd go for those football chocolate balls.
I'm a white mouse kind of guy.
Okay, yeah.
No, not feeling that.
Mrs. E is. She's a full on. She'll go for the
and
white
you
straight away.
her.
Yeah, I know.
Cheeky wink as well. Oh, that's something to look forward to watch on YouTube. Little cheeky wink there from David Evans.
Yeah.
Obviously, as I said, so get your Smarties in. If I go for sweets, I do like my red strawberries.
Okay, yeah.
The soft ones, don't go for fizzy ones.
Is that the ones where you get the red and black ones?
No, they're the raspberry ones, aren't they?
Okay.
Are they classed as raspberries?
I think so. Okay.
These are like a flat strawberry. So you've got like a little bit of green at the top.
Oh,
no, David.
No. Sorry. Not a fan of that. We are in polar opposites in pick and mix.
Massively. I would not be sharing your bag at pick and mix.
See, I'd go for those red raspberries.
Yeah, okay,
red ones. Cola bottles. Preferably the tangy ones.
No.
You get there's like a bubblegum version that's like blue and pink. I think sometimes. Gummy bears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smarties, obviously.
Yeah.
Go for that. And I'd maybe get as a token one of the giant cola bottles or one of those giant sweets you can have.
Okay.
Or the giant Spidey you can have or something like that.
Yeah.
One thing I don't understand with pick and mix, and I had this with my daughter at the weekend when we got a little bit of pick and mix, is, for example, you'll go to the Smarties and you'll shovel out some Smarties and you might only put in 3 or 4, but oh no, I won't have that extra one.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
Yeah.
What is that extra one?
True.
What difference is it going to make?
Oh, if you're at cinema, probably about 50p.
Yeah.
No, you're true though. Yeah, you'll kind of just balance 3 or 4, and then there's one left and go, oh no. 4 will do for me.
I kind of don't get that rationale, but I still think that Woolworths back in the day was the GOAT.
Yeah, but I don't know if I have many memories of the pick and mix at Woolworths. I don't think I was I knew it was there, but it wasn't really something I took advantage of as a kid.
I think it was the only place apart from the cinema, the only place I really visited it.
Yeah, I think it was just the cinema I'd pick and mix.
It was like Aladdin's cave and you went in there. It was the first thing you'd kind of go straight to, I remember.
Oh, I always went to toys. In Woolworths, right at the back I used to go to.
Woolworths, mate, rest in peace.
It's still online though, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Isn't there a Woolworths somewhere as well? It's not.
I think there's one in America.
But no, I mean in the UK.
Well, no, right. I don't know about the UK, but there is actually. In South Africa, there is it's basically a massive rip-off of Marks & Spencer's, but they call it Woolworths.
Okay.
But it is literally I'm sure that it's the T-shirts, the clothing range is M&S, the food is your typical M&S. If someone's literally just gone to England, looked at M&S and gone, haha, if I go to the other side of the world, they'll never find this out.
I thought when you said it was a rip-off of Marks & Spencer, I thought, yeah, it's Marks & Spencer, but it's called Spencer's and Mark.
No, it's called Woolworths. And at first I was like, oh, great, there's a Woolworths. Like, no, it's basically Marks & Spencer's.
Do you have a limit of the amount you will spend on a pick and mix? Is it no, it doesn't matter, or does it have to be up to a certain price, or you think, you know what, I've spent too much there?
If I'm on my own, no. if I'm getting pick and mix, and I'm with Lucy at the cinema, for example, she might be like, "Oh, there's a bit too much in there, Mike." It's like, oh, right, okay, then fine. Best cut back. But if I'm on my own, it's like, no, bring it on.
So there's no.
We did go
price limit.
to. I mean, yeah. To be fair, like, I think if you pay anything more than £10, you're just stupid.
Okay.
We went to a Christmas fair thing, I think it was.
Where they've got those
at Trafford
giant
Centre.
the ones in the giant kind of
Yeah. And I got overexcited. I was like, yes, sweet, I'll have this. And it came to about 12, 13 quid.
Yeah.
That hit me hard. I was like, oh, that is a lot of money, but I've done it now. So here you go. Here's my. Do you want the change? Yes, I do.
Yes. You see, I say over a £5 would be too much.
Oh, okay then.
So
right
again, we're in different worlds.
Do you, if you go to the cinema though, do you have popcorn?
No, I have I was going to say Doritos. It's not Doritos, is it? It's the tortilla chips with the sauces.
Okay.
But rather
and
than
pick and mix.
No.
Oh, okay, fine.
Just the tortilla chips with 3 cheeses. None of these jalapenos. 3 melted cheeses.
Okay.
I'm all
cool.
for
I was going to
that.
say, because some people would have pick and mix and popcorn, and I'd understand if they just got a £2-3 limit on pick and mix, but I'm fairly, yeah. I'll on a good day, I'll spend up to a tenner.
See, I don't understand the people that have a hot dog at the cinema.
Never interested in me.
No, I don't understand why you want a big hot dog. You're just eating it while you're watching the film. You want something to snack on.
And then yeah, after 10 minutes, you can't see it. But I think Christmas. I've noticed with me having a lot of chocolate is that my fingers do get quite chocolatey.
Yeah. Well, that usually happens when you eat chocolate.
Yeah, in a hot, heated area.
It will get chocolatey, yeah.
Thanks, David.
So pick and mix.
You going with the Dorito type thing is a good shout.
I think so, with your cheeses. So, if you've finished 2 cheeses and you've got no chips, crisps left, you've got to hold it with your hands. And it's dark.
Yeah.
No one can see. Scoop it up, eat that melted cheese. So pick a mix. We're saying the best way to fill it up is basically just the Smarties method to fill in the gap.
Just get what you want personally, and then just every so often, as I said, quarter halfway, just get your Smarties in there to fill up them gaps.
Maybe we need to exchange pick and mix lists and both try our versions of pick and mix. That's that's a hard no.
I heard some of your picks, like you're going with the sour cola bottles, and the bubblegum ones. That's not for me, mate.
It's a hard no. Anyway, let's move on to listener questions, shall we, Mike?
Yes.
This is the part of the podcast where you can send us your questions. Michael, a reminder, we sit at the top of the show. Where can people send in their questions for this segment?
Tweet us at a daft question. Comment on a picture or DM us on Instagram at a daft question. Send us an email, adaftquestion@gmail.com, or go to YouTube, type in a daft question, and just comment on one of our videos.
I feel like we've got to the point where you just need to record this.
I was thinking just to record it on my phone, and then every time you ask me, just be like, play. Play.
What listener questions have we had this week?
So, simple one from our friend Lee Hasdell.
Yeah.
Steak bake or chicken bake?
Oh, steak bake, 100%.
Yes, steak bake. Yeah, absolutely.
I think I transitioned from chicken to steak bake, but it's always it's always steak bake now.
I don't think I've even tried a chicken bake.
They're okay, but I think this is before they did steak bake.
Right.
So it was always chicken, but no, steak bake all the way.
Boom. Happy days. Next one, at Richard Hobbs 6. Now, this caused quite a bit of controversy on Twitter.
Oh.
How do you sign off your emails at work?
Okay.
And he's put some options.
Go on.
Kind regards, best regards, BR, all the best, sincerely, thanks in advance.
See, I don't think I'd be bold enough to just put BR.
No, you're a prick if you put BR. Like, who hasn't got time to put est and egards?
You see, if it's at work, if it's internal, it's always just thanks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cheers.
Yeah, external, it's kind regards for me.
I'm a kind regards. I think
Yeah.
best regards is when you're pushing 50 plus.
Yeah.
All the best. You don't mean it. Why?
All the best is just like a proper sign off. I'm probably not going to speak to you
Yeah.
again.
Sincerely, it's not a letter.
No.
And thanks in advance. Now, I wouldn't say thanks in advance, but people that put that on wind me up.
Yeah.
Like, are you expecting me to
repay that?
Do what you want me to do? I need this done by 12 o'clock. Thanks in advance. Behave. You're lucky if you're getting it too, mate.
I think I find that as it goes down the chain, the thread of emails, it will go away from kind regards to thanks to then not having to say anything.
Right, yep.
I always find it funny as well when you're having a conversation with people via email, when you get to the point when they start your email with just your name, comma, so David, comma, I always feel like they're having a go at you a bit.
Yep.
And I always go, oh, God, they're having a go at me, aren't they? So on that one, I think kind regards is my go-to on that one. Do not put BR.
No,
Please
don't.
Who is putting BR? Please tell me if you're putting BR and why.
BR, you need to assess your life if you're putting BR.
If you can't add another, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 letters, I think.
Is it 10?
Oh, it's late.
It's est and egards.
Yeah.
Either way.
If you can't put that, then lol.
I mean, just copy and paste if you need to. Instead of putting BR.
Speaking of lol, very quickly, a friend of mine, when he was at uni, his friend thought that lol meant something else. He thought that lol meant lots of love.
My stepsister thinks the same.
So
yeah.
So when his friend found out that his other friend's grandma had died, he put, "I'm really sorry to hear that, lol," on a text. Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't think anything that bad has happened.
No.
With her, but that R.I.P. him.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So we're saying kind regards there. Other questions?
Yeah. So I've got a couple via my own personal Facebook, if this is allowed.
Oh, they have to come through the official channels, but if there's been a lack of questions, I think I'll allow it.
I mean, last week I was nervous, but we managed to get some, and these are all from last week. So
okay, go on.
Gareth Hughes,
asks,
"What is the singular term for hundreds and thousands? The ice cream topping."
Oh, geez, like a single.
Yeah, so one of them.
There must be a proper answer for that. Hundreds.
I don't know. He said, "Is it a one?"
It's going to be a one, sure.
It must be. Would you not just say it's 100,000? I don't.
Maybe, yeah. You'd probably say that.
Yeah, you wouldn't look at it and go, "Oh, there's a one there."
If you tipped out even the smallest jar of hundreds of thousands, if you counted them all, if you had the time, and there wasn't at least 1,000 on there, could you sue that company for Trade Description Act?
If it's over 100, then I think you're okay.
Hundreds and thousands. There's got to be over 1,000, surely, for that to count.
Let me know how you get on with that.
Let me just get my tweezers out after this.
Buy a jar.
Count them.
And then, count them when you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And let me know.
Okay, I think hundreds and thousands. I would.
Yeah, I'd have said 100,000.
Okay. Next one.
Next one, which I quite like, actually. Let me find it. Right. At what point...
Yeah.
So this is from Samuel Connell Dunn. At what point does a fly turn upside down when it lands on the ceiling?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Jeez.
Mind blown.
I can't believe that. Yeah, when is it turned upside down?
When does it? It must be. I don't,
It's annoyingly,
just
it annoyingly bashes into everything when it's stuck in
yeah.
the house, but it has the mind power to then just go flip.
I've wanted to try and catch a fly in the act to prep for this all week, and I've not been able to.
There must be a YouTube video of that in slow motion. There must
Maybe
be.
there is.
But that is true. Like, you don't think of that at all. If it
I
goes
think they
upside
fly
down.
up and then they know exactly where they want to park the bus, and they just flip. And then as they flip, they land on the ceiling.
Oh, I've got to find that. That's so sad, but I've got to find that.
Not sad at all, mate.
So what are we saying to that? Like, I have no idea.
I mean, I wouldn't have a clue. I'm literally having a guess there.
Yeah.
Last minute, they see where they want to land, flip.
Okay. That's some acrobatics there from flies that I never really fully appreciated.
No.
Good. Okay, cool. Any questions?
Sorry, who are you?
Any other questions from listener questions?
We've got one more from our guest last week, Andy.
Yes, okay.
At Cage Fighting Pod. He asks, what is the exact amount of time playing a video game where a casual go turns into a worryingly long session?
Ooh. I guess it depends on the type of game you're playing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't think
I
of
would
that.
say so. I mean, let's say, for example, FIFA. You can have a casual go on FIFA, can't you?
Yeah, but I would say with FIFA, casual go is what, like one.
1-2 games, maybe.
But it depends how long you have the how long you play. Like if you're one of these 4 minutes aside people, then fine. But if you go full on like 30 minutes a half, that
Oh
would
no,
be
yeah.
enough.
If you extend the time on that match to like a proper 90-minute match,
Then
that
that's
is
excessive.
that's excessive. But if it's just a classic 5-minute half, then I think 2 or 3 games is probably fine in one session.
Right. So 5.5. So that's 10. So
Yeah.
you're saying 2 or 3 games. So let's just say 3 games, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Give or
that's fine.
take, you're missing about 35 minutes. Are you saying then 35 minutes is just your casual go, and anything
I would
after
say
that
so.
is you've verged on a longer period of time there?
And,
That's excessive.
and I guess then it goes into those kind of open world games then that are like,
right?
That's when you can properly get lost.
Yeah.
I think. Like
I can't imagine 30 minutes would be enough there.
No. I remember my brother-in-law used to play some like online sci-fi kind of space game on his computer years ago. He was so dedicated to it to a point where on Sunday he was like part of a clan, and a Sunday afternoon him and his clan would have like a virtual meeting like this, discuss the areas they were going to infiltrate that week. And like this, he was like in his mid-40s at this point. The leader of the clan was like some 12-year-old. But they were probably having scheduled meetings every Sunday afternoon to go through minutes and go through, right, this is where we're going to infiltrate this week. And I thought, no, that's dedication.
That is dedication.
Yeah. Mike's thinking there's another word for that.
No. Well, no, I don't know how if I can really take the piss out of it, really, because I've, like Football Manager, I do quite a bit of research, and I have my own notebook, and I'm on a couple of Facebook groups.
See, and that's when with Football Manager, you could, especially if you watch the match, if you don't sim the matches, you could really have a very long session on that.
Oh, I would love nothing more than like a good 4 or 5 hour session on Football Manager. Like when I used to go away for work, and you'd have to stop over, and I'd be somewhere for a week or whatever. I'd have a meal. I'd come back into my room, and I'd just be on Football Manager. Like I think I've got 3-4 hours to myself here. I can just play Football Manager. It's great. This have a beer or whatever. Loved it. Absolutely love it. But I am a bit obsessive about it.
It's one of those games as well that you always like. Oh, another match. I'll just do another match. I'll just do another match.
Yeah, depending on where you are in the season, and then sometimes it's like, if it's the summer, you think, oh, I'll just go to the transfer window, and then the season starts. It's like, well, let's just see if this player does well for me. And then by the time you know it, you're 2 seasons deep, and you've got a whole new squad.
I think then on that question, I think it very much depends on the type of game.
Yeah.
But I think if it's those type of games, like an open world or something like Football Manager, I think if you go more than 4 or 5 hours, maybe, then it's a proper serious
Yeah, but
session.
I think as a general rule of thumb, a casual amount of time is, I think, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're going beyond that, then you're dedicated and you're like, I'm not leaving here now. You're gonna have at least another hour and a half, I think. If you go past the half-hour mark, at least another hour and a half.
Good. Okay. Any other listener questions, or is that the cap this
Plenty,
week?
but we'll save them, David.
We'll save them
them
for another week. Right.
Yeah.
It's time for a guest question now. Guest
Oh,
comes on. They ask a question. So let's go to guest question.
Is it The Rock?
No.
Oh, okay.
Will that ever happen?
I've
Probably
tweeted
not.
him. I have tweeted him to see if he'll come on.
Any reply?
No.
We wait in hope. Anyway, now it's time for guest question segment. Right, it's time for guest question. This is the part of the podcast where we bring a guest on and they ask us a question. And in that fashion, guest this week is a man who works for the Big Blue Bird at Twitter, Mr. David Wilding. Evening, David. How you doing?
Hello. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you for having me on. It's exciting to be here.
Good.
Exciting to have you.
I didn't sound excited at that point, but genuinely, yeah. I was saying to the kids, I've got to go and record a podcast, and they're like, "Ooh."
I'd have thought working for Twitter would have got you enough oohs to cover you for a good few years.
Yeah, novelty's worn off on that front.
Your job title at Twitter UK is Director of Planning, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Can you kind of summarise that in a nutshell, what that is?
In about 140 characters.
Hey.
280 now.
280, what, eventually, yeah.
It's really best summed up as a bit of everything, which I love because lovely variety about it. It's talking about Twitter all day to anybody who cares, mostly brands, businesses, organisations, just helping them to understand it and get the most out of it, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's
Are there any other Twitter puns that, apart from the 180, 140 characters that are thrown at you a lot?
Oh, loads. I mean, yeah. To be honest, I've kind of heard them all, but I don't mind.
I feel a bit silly now.
40, 180 is fine. Yeah, I don't mind. So yeah, it's
Were you behind? Oh, go on. Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I'm going to say, were you behind eventually upping it to 280?
No.
Right. Okay.
I'm personally behind very little. Do my best to understand it and explain it to other people. I could talk to you about the 280 thing for days, but it wouldn't be a good pod. Trust me.
It might be. That's another separate podcast.
Yeah.
280 characters. Right, David, you bring bearing gifts of a daft question. What is your daft question for us?
Well, okay, so I was recently on the website, twitter.com. You may have heard of it. It's very popular. This afternoon. Not that I was poorly prepared for this pod in any way, particularly as we were supposed to be recording it yesterday. But today I was on twitter.com and I saw a clip from two American fellas who are called Chris Peterson and Spencer Cox. And both of them are they were in the running to be the governor of Utah. It's a very prestigious gig. And they created this 30-second video, which I think the kids would say went viral on Twitter. And it's basically the two of them it's the cheesiest thing you've ever seen. If you're able to insert a clip audio at this point, do it. If not, I'll just describe it to you. So they're stood 2 meters apart, in their seats, and say, "Hi, I'm Chris Peterson, and I'm going for the governor of Utah." And Spencer Cox said, "Hi, I'm Spencer Cox. I'm going for the governor of Utah." And then they went on to both say, "We can debate issues without degrading," I think they said, "each other's character, and we can disagree without hating each other." And it was very interesting, very cheesy, got lots of attention on Twitter, and it's led into my question, which I think we've just about still got time for after the intro. And so my daft question is, which two things which shouldn't really go together go really well together, or go best together?
This is a good one. Mike, have you got any thoughts on this one? What things probably shouldn't go together but do?
Wolves in the Premier League?
Oh.
7-2. My, but we won in Europe today.
Yeah, okay.
My first, well, I've mentioned this, I think last week or the week before, cheesecake and custard, which is a delightful combination.
Okay.
So I can see it already in your faces. It sounds revolting, and I agree with you. But if you put it together, cold cheesecake, hot custard, beautiful.
Okay. I've got a controversial one that is also food related. And I will admit, I've not tried this combination since I first tried it. And I'm now starting to question why I haven't. And you'll probably say, this is why, David. All right. Chicken and chocolate.
Wow.
I'm open.
I'm
open.
David's reaction sums up. So, this comes back from uni. I went to see Mrs. E when she was at Liverpool Uni, and I think it was like on a Sunday evening. Someone made a roast dinner, and there was some chicken left over, and someone bought like a chocolate cake. For some reason, nobody ate the cake. I don't know why. And I was a bit bored, and I just got a bit of chicken and just wiped it in this chocolate cake that nobody was eating. Started eating it and thinking, hang on a second, this works. This is really nice. Everybody around the table was looking at me in disgust, of course. But I was like, this really, really works. And so, yeah, chicken and chocolate.
Have you have chicken and chocolate? A lot of people have chicken and chocolate. They just have a roast chicken and then some chocolate for dessert. So were you literally taking a bite of chicken and then a bite of chocolate and then another bite of chicken, or how did it work?
It was literally, so the top layer of the cake was almost like a slightly liquidy chocolate. So you could actually get the chicken surrounded by a liquid of chocolate. So the combination of the two, the chicken with an outer layer of chocolate, I felt worked. It shouldn't work.
Have you done this again?
No, that's the thing.
Right,
but I just have the memory of doing it, and it seemingly worked.
Right. Okay. So only, fine. Okay.
Dave's like, well, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, what happens? Do I have to pick a winner, or is
well,
that...
have you got a suggestion at all? Is there two things you think?
I've got a couple of more. I've got a couple more.
Go on,
Go on.
Yeah.
Oh, I've frozen. There was a I think, and this is controversial, but it's a worldwide controversial pineapple on pizza.
Ah, yes.
I'm a lover of pineapple on pizza, and I think it obviously works because they obviously sell it. But David Evans is a no-go.
That's a big no-no from me.
How about, and they're all food-based these. How about Almost Famous did? You know how you've got Almost Famous down in Wolverhampton and down south, have you?
Yeah.
You're aware? It's not just a northern thing.
No.
So they do chips, or they used to, I think, do chips with Marmite butter on top.
What?
That sounds good.
See now, can we swap David's? Because David, well, the new David seems to approve of these choices that I'm making here. Yeah, the old-fashioned David isn't a fan at all.
So chips with Marmite butter.
It was beautiful.
So you're lathering the chips?
Well, yeah. So they come. So you got your loaded fries. So you can have, you have your cheesy chips and stuff.
Yeah.
Almost Famous have got loads of different flavors and different toppings, and this particular one was Marmite butter.
I mean, people have a go at me for having curry sauce with chips.
But I'm not. That's not for me. But people do it.
Yeah. Is this exclusively a food-based podcast? Because
in fairness, a lot of our questions come back to food.
Yeah, I mean, we did supermarket sweep, didn't we?
Everything I've heard on the podcast to date and so far has been food-based. My answer is going to be Ed Sheeran and Beyonce. They did a duet and it shouldn't have worked. And
I thought you were going to drop an exclusive there.
No.
That Beyonce's just left Jay-Z and he's shacked up now with Ed Sheeran. I thought this was some Twitter inside info that you were going to drop on us.
Yeah, I was more thinking along the lines of, I mean, that's a bad example because I'm not sure it did work. But like duet, it shouldn't really have worked when you think, oh, how have they sort of worked together? Like Elton John and Kiki D.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
I think that shouldn't have worked.
There was a duet I remember the Justin Timberlake Kylie duet from the Brits a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
That shouldn't have worked, but that actually did really well.
Yes, that's right. Or in fact, actually, on the musical thing, if I have to give an answer, I would say Lionel Richie and Glastonbury. Because
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I think Glastonbury, I know they've changed it recently to make it more sort of cool and that kind of stuff. But I mean, Glastonbury, you always think is proper, people who know their music and they're all quite cool and all that kind of stuff. And I remember seeing Lionel Richie, when did he do his set? 3-4 years ago? And I just thought, I've got to go and watch this thing now. I've got to try and get tickets to Glastonbury. And I've tried every year since when it's been on and been unsuccessful. Got involved in the lottery, and then every year been mightily relieved when it's actually coming out.
I'm quite happy watching it on BBC One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say the same with I guess Stormzy from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But then it turned out to be probably one of the best sets that's Glastonbury's seen.
No, he's absolutely brilliant, isn't he? But I think at least Stormzy's cool, whereas Lionel Richie's never pretended to be remotely cool. But I guess he's so uncool. He was cool.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a big lover of Lionel Richie. I think he's got some coolness about him.
Okay, what's your top Lionel Richie?
Oh,
Dave's destiny, you know.
Depends what mood I'm in.
Okay,
so Hello's a tune.
It's yeah.
But then if I'm ready to if I want to go out,
it's not really a tune, is it? It's a video, but it was never.
The video makes no sense.
No, I know. Yeah.
That's been the weirdest thing about it.
Yeah.
But if I'm in a bit of a boogie mood, then Dancing on the Ceiling.
Dancing on the Ceiling. Yeah.
I think he's great.
Friend of mine, no word of a lie, once lived in Ealing and used to go dancing in Ealing on a Saturday night, and they always played Dancing on the Ceiling in Ealing, and obviously changed the lyrics. What a feeling, we're dancing in Ealing. And Peter Crouch was in the club one night, or so he tells it. And Peter Crouch was there, and so they had, for some reason, they had a skipping rope. And they were twirling the skipping rope around, and Peter Crouch was just done. I think he must have played for QPR or something. He was just jumping over this skipping rope. And every time I hear that song now, I think of Peter Crouch, even though I wasn't there dancing and Ealing with Peter Crouch. What a feeling! There you go.
Here's two that shouldn't work but do. I think. I don't know if you saw it over the summer. Peter Crouch on TV presenting.
Yes, it was good.
Yes,
I thought he was really good at the Save Our Summer.
Yeah.
I thought he worked really well.
Didn't look good, did it, when you saw the trailers?
No.
You thought, oh no, they really misjudged this.
But he pulled it out, to be fair to him.
Yeah. Did he save your summer?
No.
No.
So it's against the Trade Subscription Act.
Yeah. The premise of the show really didn't work, but him as an individual, yeah.
How about Channel 4 and Bake Off? They're all flooding.
I'm not a Bake Off guy.
In fairness, that's a good one, because when they first went to Channel 4, you thought, all those adverts, it's not going to work.
Yeah, people were up in arms about it, weren't they? It felt like
how's Matt Lucas doing? Is he doing all right?
Yeah, he's great, isn't it?
Right.
Really good. I mean, he only says about 4 or 5 lines an episode. But that's all he has to do, really. No, I love the man. He's really, really good. Yeah.
Okay.
So, if I thought about this properly, I could have given you a proper answer.
Well, to be fair, this has lasted longer than I thought it would. So.
So for this question then, 2 things that perhaps shouldn't go well together but do. David, I'll give you the final say on this one. What do you think out of those answers is the ultimate?
The ultimate answer, is there like a prize for this or points?
For the satisfaction of knowing that you've picked the correct answer.
Oh, okay. So I have to pick one of yours, do I?
Or you can pick your own if you want to.
Pretty much with a skipping rope. Very arrogant. I'm gonna say I don't think anything has beaten Chris Peterson and Spencer Cox, who the original people in that video, the 2 fellas going for the governor of Utah.
Okay.
Should have gone together, and they did.
Fair dues.
Internet and all the food combos. But in fact, I'm actually going to change my mind and choose chocolate and chicken.
Everyone's going to try it this weekend now. Chocolate and chicken.
Look how happy you are.
Oh, very good, very good. Thank you, David. Now,
Thank you very much, David.
This is the bit of the podcast as well for our guests where we let them plug something. Do you have anything you want to plug at all, David?
Oh, no, I haven't. Nothing at all. I could plug twitter.com.
Tell us about that. What's twitter.com?
You can see what's happening and connect with all your passions and interests and some like-minded fabulous people.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant. Yeah. No, everyone be nice to everybody else. That's what I've got to plug. It's going to be a weird old few months, but I think we've got this between us.
Yes.
Yes, that's that really. That's what I've got to plug. That and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Plug enough, David. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for having me on.
No,
Good
thank
luck.
you for being
It's been an
on.
absolute
Thank you.
pleasure. Appreciate it, David. Thank you very much.
All right, I should carry on listening with interest. Good luck with the rest of the show. Do I literally?
Cheers, David.
I'm going to zoom out.
All right,
Zoom out.
Zoom out. All right, cheers, David. So, big thanks to Dave Walding from Twitter UK for coming on for a guest question. Mike, it's time for the last part of the podcast.
Woohoo!
It's question number 3 officially.
Yep.
Are you ready for this question?
I'm ready.
I hope so. It's good that you're ready for it. Bernard's Watch, famous UK kids TV program about a kid with a watch that stops time. My question to you, Mike, is could Bernard have done more with that watch?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so
I don't think I ever watched this as a kid. I understand the premise of it.
Yeah.
And in fact, I remember working ages ago and someone mentioned Bernard's Watch. I was like, you what?
So I learned this in the week when we talked about questions for this week pod, and I can't believe that you had never watched Bernard's Watch.
No.
It was such a good program. And for those who've never watched it, let me give you the premise of it.
Oh, good.
It's simple as that. A kid, about 9-10-year-old kid called Bernard, is given a watch by a magical postman, which I never knew until I did my research. I didn't realise that was the case.
Then.
That can either stop time or rewind time. He's given the watch by this magical postman because the first episode he's finding that he's just got no time to do anything. He's always late for stuff. He needs time. So apparently a rainbow appears where he's made a wish.
Right.
And this magical postman turns up and gives him this watch, and he can basically pause time. One crux I did find, which I never realised as a kid, was one of the conditions of him having this watch was that he couldn't commit a crime, or he couldn't use the watch to hurt anyone.
Okay.
So that takes out a lot of things.
It does, but already better values than Fireman Sam.
Yeah. So on this programme, I just feel that he could have been a god.
Yes.
And did not utilise it.
Because we've all thought about it, haven't we?
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, if someone was to ask me what superpower I want, I would, if I could pick one in the world, it would be to control time. It would be amazing. And I thought about it as a 9-10-year-old kid. And it would, one thing would, like for football, you would be the best player known to man if you could control time and you're on the football pitch.
Well, I did a lot of research on this programme in preparation for
you,
and I loved it. I'd not watched this programme for years. So I went on the old YouTube, watched some Bernard's Watch episodes. I've made some notes, Michael.
Good.
There are things that I need to bring up about Bernard's Watch.
Bring it on.
If you thought Norman Price was one thing,
oh right, okay,
this is a whole thing. On the football one, there's a clip where he's in goal, and the narrator's like, "Oh, he's basically the best goalkeeper because the kid strikes the ball. He's got his watch on his neck underneath his goalkeeper top.
Yeah,
pauses it and then just unpauses, catches the ball.
Brilliant.
I'm thinking, depending on how fast that ball goes, does he have enough time to just go, oh, and then he's got to position himself and undo it and catch the ball at the same time? I felt that was very unrealistic.
Before goal line technology, if you had it, you could just move the ball back. And it would, like, within like not even a second, like the blink of an eye, it would have moved. And there's no one there to be like, oh, I didn't that cross the line? No, no. You're fine.
So I did send you an episode, Mike, but I presume that you didn't watch it.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
Oh,
I am intentions.
So sorry, David.
Right. Let me give you some recaps on some of the bits.
Yes, you did, time gentlemen. I massively apologise.
How dare you? Because you could have shared your annoyance with some of the bits I'm about to share on this.
Oh, I feel bad now. Sorry.
Anyway,
David.
right. Anyway, but this episode in particular, right? So let me just give you some Bernard's Watch things. I was like, really? So in this episode, he's trying to raise some money for like a pet sanctuary.
Okay.
For some reason, he's got a little bucket outside. He's only raised £3. He's getting a bit annoyed. Why can't I raise any more money? So he cons his granddad, who has this party trick of being able to throw darts onto the bullseye, to be sponsored to have people sponsor him. But every time he hits the bullseye, people give him more money. Right?
Okay.
Cons his granddad into doing this. The lady who runs the pet sanctuary catches wind of this. Her first reaction is, "Oh, I must go tell all the other animals." What is she saying telling the animals for?
Right.
It's not like the pig's going to turn around and go, "Right, Sandra, don't worry."
We've got this.
This man throwing darts to a bullseye isn't going to raise all the money for the costs you need to run this centre.
I'm guessing no one questioned this.
No.
Everyone just thought, yep, Sandra talks to the animals, it's fine, you crack on, love. We'll address the real issue here.
Yeah. So as the episode transpires, Grandad has basically realised that he's not that good at what he used to be able to do, at throwing darts at the bullseye. Bernard's getting worried, thinking, "Oh crap! Well, I've conned him into this. We're raising money here. What am I going to do?" So we get to the night. We're in a pub. Grandad throws the first dart, just goes everywhere in comedic fashion.
Okay.
Bernard's thinking, "What am I going to do here?" So every time the Grandad throws a dart, pauses his watch.
Yep.
Puts the dart on the bullseye.
Beautiful. Genius.
So it happens every time. Grandad's getting cocky here, thinking, "Yeah, look at me. I'm getting bullseye every time." I'm thinking, hang on a second. Bernard has conned all these people out of their money. They're paying their money to say, but he's not really doing it, is he?
Yeah, but it's for charity.
But is he still stealing people's money into believing they can do something?
Well, yes. But, oh, yeah, you've got me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a bit.
So he's technically committing a crime?
I mean, I'm sure the children in the local hospice that this money's going towards.
No, it's a pet place.
It's a pet place.
Yeah, it's not a children's hospice. It's for like a pet.
It's for animals.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not bothered then. Yeah, no, I'm sure the animals aren't complaining. I'm sure they're not like, "Oh, but Bernard, you did it illegally."
There's a clip of another episode where, and in fairness, the start of this is quite ingenious. He goes to the supermarket, but he's paused time, so he just walks around the supermarket and does all his shopping while everyone's frozen. So thinking, yep, great idea there. Gets to the till, and he skips the queue, goes to the front, and unpauses. And I'm thinking, if I'm in the queue, I know I've been in the queue, I'm next, and this kid randomly turns up with a full, the whole aisle.
You'd be peeved.
You'd not only be peeved, you'd be like, "You literally weren't there a second ago, and you've now filled the till. What is going on?"
Yeah, see, you need to be clever with stuff like that.
Bernard has used his power. What he's used his watch to go to his head.
Say that again. He's used his.
I didn't say that right. It's late. he's the power of the watch has gone to his head.
But I mean, would it not go to your head?
Yeah, so he's kind of using it to be a god to an extent, isn't he?
I mean, just think at school, like not even at football. Like, I'd think you could like one of the nasty teachers in your classroom, and you could just stop time and move a chair for when they sit down, or like just drop the trousers so they're showing the boxes or something like that, just to embarrass them, would be hilarious. No?
So that's how your mindset would be.
Yeah, that's what I kept thinking. If I had watched it could stop time, that's what I'd do.
When you see the episodes, in fairness, it's all the problems a 9-10-year-old would have. Oh no.
Okay.
I haven't given my homework in. I'll pause time. I'll run home.
Thought about that as well. Yeah.
I've forgotten to get this present for someone for the birthday. I'll pause time. I'll go and get it. I guess at that age, you're not thinking, "I'm gonna steal all this money from the bank."
No.
Stuff like that.
No. Here's a question. As you brought it up, one of the listener questions a while back asked, in Bernard's watch, when he stops the time,
yeah,
do you think Bernard ages at all.
Yes, I had this because if he's stopping his watch, surely he's aging incrementally.
I'd have thought he would age, but everyone else wouldn't.
There is an episode I watched this evening. See how much
How many
research I've
how
done.
many have you watched of
I
these?
had to watch a few to get, and I was just getting into it. I was like, it's Bernard's watch, where he's so tired in the day of school that he pauses, goes to the sick room, has a sleep on the bed, but when he wakes up, the narrator says he doesn't know how long he's been asleep for. So he could have been asleep for a good 8 hours, but now he's got to finish the whole school day. Could you imagine if he pauses that watch, but it either he forgets or it gets faulty and he properly ages?
Yeah,
And
but he's alone.
But he's like aged 10 years and he's in school. He's like primary school outfit that doesn't fit him anymore.
That's an episode of Big that I'd want to watch.
Yeah. Well, could you imagine that? Or surely, like, he gets to his 16th birthday, but he's actually 22.
Yeah, you must think by the time he gets to his 18th birthday, he's probably looking 21.
I think so. It must happen. He must age.
I mean, we'll never know, unfortunately.
I was doing a bit of research, obviously, on Bernard's watch, and I found Bernard, the actor, on Twitter. So I found an article which basically talked about how I think after Bernard's watch, he basically didn't do any more acting. He was very much a child actor.
Oh, that's a shame.
And I think he's trained to be a GP now.
Fair play.
I found him on Twitter. I'll just find him on here because I think his bio on Twitter is fantastic. So his Twitter handle, if you want to find him, is @itsmedave41. Right.
Okay.
His name is David Preachley, I think. It's David Peachy on his Twitter. His Twitter bio is husband, father, Forrest, used to own a watch. I think he's good. I think he must be. If you look at him and if you watch Bernard watch, you can see it's him.
Okay, then.
That makes sense. I find it odd that we would be of a generation that perhaps watched it as kids, but anyone else wouldn't really recognise him for that. So he's probably growing up now, and less people recognise him. Yeah. But you must get people going, you look really familiar.
Yeah, you must be like. I'd definitely once a week you get someone. I'd have thought because go on.
If he's a GP and he's obviously seeing patients pre-COVID all the time, there must be someone going, "Have I not seen you before?" And what does he do? Does he either go for it, and does he go, "Oh, I don't know where you've seen from," and gets a watch out and goes with the watch? I'll just look at the time, or does he just go, "Oh, no idea." One of those faces.
I love the idea of pulling out the watch. Yeah. I hope he does that. And he could just be like one of those washed up actors that just hangs on the fact that he used to be in this one TV show. It's like, Bernard's watch. You mean this watch? Yes, I'll take a photo with you. Yes, would you like my signature? Yes, no problem at all. And he's just like, please remember me. Please remember me.
Back of his car boots, he's got loads of watches.
Yes, I think he's probably more like him.
Okay. I'll tag him on Twitter and just see what he says.
Yeah. And if he wants to be a guest, see if he wants to be a guest.
Talk about Bernard's watch back in the day.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't like talking about it.
He's put on Twitter about the watch for a reason.
But if you didn't know...
what was it? Oh, you used to be owner of a watch.
He just used to own a watch.
Yeah. So he's put that on there for a reason. I mean, it's lols. But he wants people to be like, oh, yeah, it's him.
But I think it's ambiguous enough that if you know who it is, you get a lol from that bio. But if you didn't know who it was, you just think he's making some funny quip.
Yeah, but he doesn't want that kind of audience. He wants our age group.
Yeah.
That would look at that and be like, oh, yeah, funny. Follow. And then he'll just bring it out all the time. At parties. What time is it? Well,
it's the watch.
Exactly. He'll love it.
Yeah. So we're saying for Bernard's watch, even as a kid, he probably didn't use it to its full potential.
No.
Bit of a pause there. Either
doesn't sound like it.
Mike was yawning.
It didn't sound like it.
Thinking about it. Right, and I think that's it. Questions done once again this week. Thank you very much, Mike.
Boom.
Once again,
Thank you very much,
I'm
David.
going to repeat it all over again, Mike. Where if people want to send us a question and follow us on the socials, how can they do that?
Twitter, @ADaftQuestion. Instagram, @ADaftQuestion. Email, adaftquestion@gmail.com. YouTube, search adaftquestion and comment on a video.
Lovely. And once again, another podcast done. It's time to go to bed. So
It is.
for this week and this episode, it's bye from Mike.
Bye from David.
Yep, it's bye from me. I'll see you next time, everybody. See you next time.
Bye-bye.